Yes. Now, I'm just concerned that my wife got the first job that she's had in approximately 20 years. Yes. And I wanted to look at long-term care. Could you get me all those facilities again that Medicaid could pay for, the actual nursing home? Yeah. And then the life insurers that sell long-term care insurance? Yeah. I just wanted to know, what do I do in this situation considering the fraud? Yeah. The forgery? There being no actual penalty of perjury, and she herself didn't acknowledge our 5 sons, and quite possibly they're not our children. But if I found out that, well, I do know that I have 5 sons, and then there's the durable power of attorney for health care, revocable living trust, and those wills. Could you get me all the tax deferred accounts of all of those that are oaths, badges, attorneys? Yes. Every mandatory reporter, all of the actual employees of every school district. Yes. I'd like to know who their beneficiary is because I'm thinking that I'm going to tax those assets and name myself. Now, if you think that you can allow for fraud and forgery to issue court orders and can legally do it, you're sorely mistaken. Now, when I tell the sheriff's department I want my sons, that means I want you to enforce the laws of the United States. We can't have the forgery of those elected to office. We can't have a forgery of those that are petitioners. We can't have the fraud of the same court commissioner hearing both court cases at the same time. And we sure the fuck can't have sheriffs fucking big-titted women that happen to want 20 grand a year. Now, I'm wanting to speak to Marilyn. I put that in there, and the exploitation of her because of the use of a picture of my sister. I did look online. Looks like Mike's back from England. He did the church service on Sunday. And I put some, well, that's what the YouTube says, wasn't he? Well, you can't exploit children, black children that are adopted from Haiti, and you can't continue to allow the fraud. So why don't you have Marilyn call me? And then you have my real sons call me. And then you remove your fraud from my last name. This county has used me for the last 7 years and 3 months as not only the target of a hate crime, they've used my last name to enrich themselves unjustly. If you didn't have my last name, you wouldn't got paid all of that. And for those of you that got paid in pussy, pooch, I'm going to want you removed. We just can't have, well, spouses, common law spouses, or traditional marriage spouses deciding that they can fuck their way into a lot of money just because of your corruptness. Isn't that right, Ness? Pooh. The nation eye, the secret sisterhood of those that thought that all men are evil. Is, is. Now, I don't like it when OBGYN. Oh. You know, I was thinking about those G strings and their vaginal openings last night. A lot of those that are gynecologists that do those, just get me the retirements of the gynecologists. Yes. Nothing like a woman having to sit there with her feet up in the stirrups so that you can see what's in there. Now, approximately 6 million women, or 6,000 women in the U.S. reach menopause each day. Yes. By 2020, 50 million women will be postmenopausal. Oh, oh. Now, endocrinologists sent surveys to 250 OBGYN residencies. I myself was wanting to do some gynecological examinations of those that want to wear G-strings. Thought I'd just pull them to the side. Now I know. Okay. Is it really necessary? I mean, is there something up there that I should know about? Now, Heidi's thinking that somebody put a little RFID device on her cervix. You ever had one of those really big orgasms with somebody that's not your husband that you still are married to? Yes. Yes. And you ask yourself, well, how'd you open my cervix channel? And they put a little RFID device on the end of the condom. They said, you won't get pregnant, but this will be the best sexual experience you've ever had. They have these RFID chips. Yes. Why don't you get me the OBGYNs? Yes. And then give me the cervixes of all of those that had to give a woman a huge cervix. You didn't put the cervixes on those children that you manufactured for my genetics, did you? I thought it was the sexual nerve endings that had to be in their mouths, but somehow I think that exactly how did you lock them on? Now, as a man, I don't have a cervix, but I realize the importance of the cervix channel. Yes. It's right next to, well, if you go through it, yeah, and you go through the womb, there's the fallopian tubes and the ovaries. Yes. Did you put a lock on the cervix of those that you put children on so that they wouldn't have cervix orgasms and somehow they'd be frustrated for the rest of their sexual lives? Does anybody know how to give a cervix orgasm using technology? And well, I just wanted to know, Sheriff. Yes, if you didn't have electricity. Oh, that's why you're so good at what you do. They always, you are so talented. A lot of small dick men, when they don't have the use of technology,